हर्षी शुरू कर ले.
Yes, madam, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all on behalf of VANI to the second lecture of the series to commemorate the Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav on the topic, the path of firms and CSOs intersected through CSR. And we have Dr. Suresh Reddy with us to give the lecture. To give a very brief account of his resume, Dr. Y. Suresh Reddy is CSR lead and head of SRF Foundation. He has done his PhD in public administration from SV University, Tirupati, and has a vast experience of 24 years by associating with academic, government, not-for-profit and corporate foundations. He has so far worked for Bairaju Foundation, Dr. Reddy's Foundation, Care India, and State Council of Educational Research Training. And Dr. Suresh Reddy will be giving us a lecture for an hour. Then he will be welcoming some questions and queries from you people. Now I will request Mr. Harsh Jetli to come in and give the context from his point of view. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shabinji. Thank you, Dr. Suresh Reddy. It's really pleasure to have you with us. There are few people in our network who are from the both sides. Those who have ample experience with the corporate sector, dealing through CSR, and also experience of working with the CSOs. So welcome you, sir. As the context of this conversation today is that, as we all know, that India is now celebrating 75th year of its independence. We call it Amrit Mahotsav. In this 75th year, the history of the 75th year, the CSOs have done excellent work towards nation building, that where the nation is today, the way in which the British Empire left us. We all know that the health condition was deteriorated at that time, the food scarcity was there, education was very less, and there was no equal distribution of quality of life throughout India. And CSR was not there at that time, but private sector those days also came forward and worked a lot with the Indian civil society organizations, because terminologies might be new, but the collaboration and relationship between private sector and CSOs and the government is very old. So we thought that in this Amrit Mahotsav, let's document. It's an opportunity for all of us to reflect on our work, our collaboration, our synergies. So VANI has started various initiatives in which we are documenting the contribution of CSOs and also, the contribution of leaders in this whole process, CSO leaders. And thirdly, also we are documenting the collaborations and synergies which are there. So therefore, this whole conversation is organized in this sense. We are having that how, from the perspective of the outsider, because now you are in CSR, sometimes you might be reflecting upon that how the CSOs function. Since you have in and out of both the sector, you can give very nice feedback on that. Our second question also is that, we all say that there is very least understanding how CSR functions, and CSR guys have least understanding that how CSOs function. Because very few companies have people like you, Mr. Reddy, who are heading CSR or you are working in CSR. Most of the time you will find people who work in CSR are either from communication sector or from HR, because only large companies can afford a separate unit, but somehow many don't have that procedure. Similarly, the voluntary sector, also sometimes we have no understanding how companies function, how CSR functions, where to say what to get, how to collaborate. So we thought that it's a good opportunity that we can learn from your experience. Third observation is that in this COVID situation, when we all know that, you know, humans as a citizen all over the world were left alone to feed themselves with medicine, oxygen, and everything. All the big powers of the world were unable to handle the crisis of that level. So finally, everyone in the globe realized that there is need to have a collaboration between countries, between private sector, government, CSOs, everyone came together in working that. So we thought that also we can learn from you that how SRF Foundation functions, how you collaborate, how you work during COVID period, and how you see the future relationship between CSRs, corporates, and CSOs. How we should learn from each other. What are the opportunities? What are the gaps? So these are the with this concepts and these questions and this ideas, suggestions, whatever you can call them. We invite you for this conversation and we look forward that your input will be highly valuable. Your input, we are recording it. We will be putting it on our website also, which will be available for the members and non-members of VANI to refer it in the future also. So thank you, Mr. Dr. Suresh Reddy, and welcome. Thank you, Shavin.
Yeah. Thank you, dear Harsh and Sabina for the few words. This is an opportunity for us to share that what we have been doing and sharing our experience of working with corporates and working with the communities as a being an implementing organization for our own parental company, that is SRF Limited, and also as an implementing organization for the other like-minded corporates. So this is the dual role we have been playing. And personally, as a person in the social sector, I have been there for last 25 years plus years in this sector, working in government platform and working with international NGO, working with the corporate foundation, now heading the SRF Foundation. So with these few words, so let me, I wish to use 5 to 6 the slides here that I use that as a points for a discussion. Just a minute there. Yeah. Yeah, it is visible now. And so just now briefly I'm sharing the one slide. You can understand that here you can see that the framework what we follow as an implementing organization. On this slide you can see the one side, an extreme right side, you can see the corporate or NGO partners, and extreme left side you can see that the government partners. And at the center, on the top, there is a SRF, that is our parental company, for which SRF Foundation executes its CSR program. And at the same time, below the SRF Foundation, the logo is there with the program implementation on the ground. So SRF Foundation acting like a conduit, as a bridge, as a connecting link between among various stakeholders, and we take responsibility of doing the program on the ground. I have been with SRF Foundation for last 13 years. Before joining SRF Foundation, as a foundation, it has been there 1982. It's almost all 40 years old. The CSO, you can say that, and NGO, you can say that. And it has been doing the checkbook charity, philanthropy, and responding to the natural calamities, promoting the arts and culture, promoting education through scholarships. This was some of the things the foundation has been doing, along with running the Shiram schools in Delhi and Gurgaon. And they have been almost all 30 plus years of old schools. So when I joined 2009, and at the point of time, and the organization thought of, so instead of just doing things in a charity mode or philanthropy mode, why don't we do things, as an implementing organization, executing the programs directly on the ground. So at this point of time, we started working at one place called the Mewat, close to Gurgaon. The Gurgaon is known as Singapore of India. The 50 kilometers away from the Gurgaon, a place called Mewat. It is a part of the Haryana I'm talking about, and where we have adopted a set of government schools, which is even today that Mewat, the new district, is the one of the aspirational districts of government of India. So which are the districts, they are lagging behind the development, and government of India wishes to give the push, to give more focus and priority to bring them these districts on par with the rest of the districts in the country. So I'm talking about 2009, even the concept of aspiration district was not there. So it was one of the prime minister priority districts, one of the minority districts in the country like that. So we started our journey as an implementing organization. When we started our journey there, we were alone. Alone means SRF Foundation is alone as an organization. I had a tie-up with the government of Haryana Education Department. We have adopted 40 plus the government schools. Today, after 13 years of journey, and this journey has gone beyond from one place of Mewat to 24 project locations spread across 12 states. So today we have been there in these 12 states working in 24 project locations while doing the program, not only doing the program for our own parental company SRF, but also doing the program for other corporates. The one I mentioned here, this is the one is the Capgemini, Indigo Reach, Amway, Care India, HP, Coca-Cola, IBM, the Snyder Foundation, Brilliant, PNB Housing, Times Group, Signify, there's a Philips Group, Sunrise Sports, Roop Automobiles, American India Foundation, Sequoia. These are the few of the partners we build collaborations over a period of time. So because of them, because of our own SRF program, we have gone beyond one location to 24 locations. And while doing these things, we have reached a large area, impacting the lives of many children, the teachers, and the youth. At the same time, we also built collaborations with the education department of 12 states. As an organization, we work with the government schools, hence we work very closely with them by way of having an understanding, an agreement, an MOU, at the same time building the collaboration with the partners. So as a SRF Foundation acting as a conduit, as a bridge, what I mentioned initially, that we execute the program at the same time we build the collaborations for the scale, for the sustainability, for the reach, for the larger reach kind of thing. We do this the program. So with this background, and in last 13 years, when I joined here at that point of time, we are just only two-member team. It is me and one more colleague was the responsible for doing the CSR this point 2009. Even that time, even CSR law was not there. So whatever we have been doing, it has been done by the SRF on its own will. At the same time, whichever the two, three partners came forward, even they came forward without even CSR mandate, they wanted to do for the society. That's how we build the collaboration. Today, the organization is having the team of 170 people, from 2 to 170 people, from one location to 24 locations, from only SRF company to now we have 10 plus, almost 12 plus other corporates are joined hands, and we are working together and able to reach this stage. But how all this happened? If someone like you, as Mr. Harsh always saying that the VANI is a network of the CSOs spread across the country. Some are big, Some are small, some are medium of various nature, and each of these organizations are experts in their own area of domain knowledge, and also the geographies they are there. So keeping that in perspective, I will be sharing that a few slides, 3 4 slides where I'm talking about a few points, so when you say the title shows that, what the title shows that the path of firms and CSOs intersected through CSR, how they are coming through the CSR together, how they are can leverage each other's the strengths and the capabilities, each other's dependency. I'm not only saying that someone is great, someone is lesser. I'm saying that both are needed. If you have to do service to the society and doing the CSR, we need the both. We need the companies and we need the CSOs. So coming together, they can make the impact, and the whatever they wish to achieve, they can achieve. And each one of them have their own strengths. The strengths, just a few, I am not necessarily limiting the strengths with these few points what I mentioned here, but these are the few of the things one has to understand that. And this is not only for the CSOs but also the CSR teams of the company. They also need to be exposed and understood how they can work with the CSOs. It should be knowing each other better. So then it is easy to build the conversation, relationship, collaboration, and doing things together. If I say start with the company's point of view, as you are all aware that as per the new Companies Act of 2013, from 1st April 2014 onwards, so every company which is making the profit of rupees more than 5 crores in a year, and also a turnover of 1,000 crores, a net worth of 500 crores, which are the things it is falling under these three categories. So 2% of its average net profit of last 3 years, it has to be used for the community projects. That's why I said the finances. When I say the word finances, recently I have written an article on the philanthropy in India, how it has transformed from colonial period to the in today's context. Today we're celebrating 75 years of Indian independence, Amrit Mahotsav. So in last 75 years, as Mr. Arsh mentioned already, how it has been transformed the philanthropy landscape, where I can say before 2013, whatever is happening, it's happening as a contributions coming from the individual philanthropists, some foundations, some trusts, some the high net worth individuals, some companies doing the voluntarily and kind of thing, and a retail contributors. So this was the source of funding for the community work through the CSOs. And now, in as per one of the studies conducted by the one of the agencies, it says that in 2015, the CSR contribution in the total of the funds available for the CSOs was 12%. I am talking about in 2015. Now, as per the 2021 context, the CSR funding has been increased from 12% to 23%. So that is how that was the contribution of the CSR finances increased from 12 to 23 from 2015 to the current status. Even before 2013, even that was not that much was not there. So one way the companies are bringing the resources through the CSR. That is the one strength we can say that. At the same time, project, it is not only finances it can contribute, but also project management guidance. So they run the business. The companies run the business, and the business is much more bigger than the what they do. The CSR. CSR is just only 2% of average net profit. that comes counted as a even less than 0.1% of the entire turnover kind of thing. So when they're managing the entire business with the good project management skills and competence techniques, the same project management skills and competencies also they can add value to the CSOs when along with the finances what they can contribute. And technology adoption, as you know that in COVID situation, when everything was shut down, locked down, and the human connectivity contacts were minimal, and we're all heavily, hugely dependent upon the internet, through internet and through digital devices, talking to each other and connected with each other, and things are happening not full-fledgedly, but somehow technology played a role. At the same time, last 15 to 20 years, you can see there is a transformational change happened in technology usage in our day-to-day life. So the companies are good at adapting the technology to enhances their capability, to enhances their services, to enhances their delivery mechanism. So the technology adoption, technology inputs also can add value to their CSR work and the CSOs in the project management point of view, and also and technology yeah, and technology also as like a finances, it is also adding value to the while we're doing the community service. Employee volunteers, it is so most of the MNCs, they encourage their employees to take part, is not part of a CSR, but they can contribute their knowledge, they can their time, their expertise while they visit the communities, and when they interact with their women or the children or the youth or the farmers or the local community or the government officials. The employee volunteers also, a contribution comes from the companies. Monitoring and evaluation tools, you may be aware that it is not just using the money for the community service, but also it is a mandatory from the government of India. As per the amended CSR law, it says that the CSR projects need to be monitored and evaluated, and also that to be put on the public domain. So here there is again technical knowledge and tools and techniques, how to do the monitoring and evaluation, and how to assess the impact what we are making based on the how much amount you are spending, how much result we are getting. So that is the other thing is coming that. And the flexibility in point of view, the resources what they allocate for the various projects, within that project there should be a flexibility to use that resources in a better way, in an innovative way, and based on the community needs and based on the contextual situation of the project. So these are the positive things we can expect from the company side when we are doing the CSR. And don't look at only the finances, but also look at how in different ways companies can add value to the CSOs while doing the service. When it comes to the CSOs, so the CSOs have been there in the country, and they are the people in touch with the community, and they're in presence in the community. We are the last mile. Even government not able to reach, the companies can't able to reach, individual can't able to reach, but the CSOs being on the ground and working with the people and knowing their issues, problems, and the culture, the aspirations, and their association with them. So their presence make a lot of a difference. That is the greatest strength of the CSOs. When you see that in last time when COVID happened, when first lockdown happened and everything was shut down, how the CSOs came into the picture and their presence felt and helped the scores of the migrant population. That is one incident just I am referring, but over the period of years, even before independence, after independence, the CSOs played a vital role for promoting the social welfare and community welfare. And second point, I'm talking about the domain expertise. When you say domain experience, I can say that uh, so to impact the human life and different domains, like in the field of health or education or livelihoods or sanitation or women empowerment, or it is the environment or waste management or domestic violence, or there are many things which are impacting the human life. So the CSOs of their own domain experience and expertise, they are the people with the rich knowledge and with rich experience. It helps while designing the program, executing the program, and also knowing what works, what doesn't work, and what are the possibilities, so they deep down the understanding of the issue and the cause and the solution, so that is their expertise on that. And a geographical presence as well. So India is such a huge country with 29 states, and the UTs are there, and so these CSOs spread across the country and different regions and geographies. So the place where they are there, have the strong presence and influence and local connections and network and all those things. That is the strength of the CSOs. And low cost solutions, when you say low cost solutions, when you have limited resources, so how to use the limited resources in the best way. So where you the innovation, where the cost effective solutions, and how to maximize the minimum resources, all these thoughts evolve, and the CSOs are able to design the low cost solutions. That is another strength of the CSOs. And liaising with the local government and stakeholders, especially I'm talking about the local panchayat, the local urban wards, or the self-help groups, or it is the Jilla panchayats, panchayat samitis, or the district authorities, and the local stakeholders. This is it won't to happen suddenly. This is the corrections and contacts they have. They can do wonderful relationship with them and leverage their support as well. And the innovation capabilities, this is again as the one of the strengths of the CSOs. So seeing these two things, so where the companies are good at, where the CS are good at, and coming together, coming together, and we can multiply our strengths, and it is a win-win for the both. Win-win for the interdependency. So companies depending on the CSOs because of these reasons, and the CSOs depending on the companies because of the reasons mentioned here. And if we can strike the good relationship with each other, and that relationship can take you to the next level, both at company level and CSO level. When go to the next one, I'm talking about uh, the CSR policy framework and practice. So this is I'm talking about from a CSO side. As a CSO, you are or we are, if you want to build the partnerships with the companies to work upon, so what one should be keep in mind, that what one should be aware of it, and how we can make informed efforts, the informed activities, so that would minimize our time and effort, and maximize our efforts there. We have to keep this in mind, that first level, one has to understand that the CSR happens is basically, it is once up before Companies Act came. This is decided by the one of the a key decision maker in the company, who decides that what he or she wants to do, where she wants to do, or how much she wants to do, when he wants to do. This is all decided by the one or two people in the company at any point of time on any project, that was used to be. So now, after this act came, it has restricted, it has put a framework. If you are doing something, you do it within this framework. That is the framework guidelines has been given by the law. As per these guidelines, there is a one thing called Schedule 7. As per the Companies Act, many schedules are there. One of the schedules is called Schedule 7, which talks about the themes the companies can choose and adapt and do the CSR program within those themes. So there are 12 themes are there. They started with the 10 themes and two more themes added in during the last 9 years of CSR journey. And whatever company wishes to do as a part of its CSR, it has to choose and pick up one or two or three or all 12 themes as per its interest. So as a CSO, you should understand that if you're approaching any company, if you want to build a partnership with that company, you should know that which is the theme is the priority or focus of this company. Whether that theme is aligning with where my experience and expertise is there. If there is a synergy between what your experience expertise and what company wishes to do, then there is a possibility of collaboration. If, for example, the one of X company, it wants to do in the area of the health domain, that is as part of CSR. But as a CSO, you are good at doing the education program. So if you approach them, I am good at education, why don't you work with me? And but company has focus is the health. So there is no synergy between you and the company. And the possibility of collaboration there are very, very minimal, very less. So that is something we have to understand, that what are the 12 themes are there, which is available on the net. Google, just you Google it, the Schedule 7 CSR rules, you will get it in front of you. No need to ask anybody. So in front of it, we can get it, and you see that those themes, and you have to zero down which are the themes you are good at, and then you can try to see which are the companies working on those themes. I will come a little bit more on that. The second thing is about nature and size of the company. All companies are not the same. The companies are different from each other. I mentioned here there are the four different kind of companies. One is that the MNCs, multinational companies. Those who are the companies belong to foreign countries, but they operate in India. The MNCs, I'm talking of this category. They are the bigger one. They are the one mostly located and spread in the major metropolitan cities like Delhi, or it is Mumbai or Kolkata or Hyderabad or Bengaluru or Chennai, Mumbai. These are the places where they are mostly located, and they are the bigger ones. And second one is about promoter-driven Indian companies. So, which are the Indian companies set up by the Indian promoters, business families like Tata's or Birla's or Godrej or SRF or Airtel. I talk about these are the few Wipro. These are the few of the companies which are set up by the Indian business people, and this is second category. The third one, the PSUs, the public sector units set up by the government departments. This can be central government PSUs and state government PSUs. And the last one is about SMEs, small and medium enterprises. These are the small businesses, medium-sized businesses set up by the small business people. And these are the four different categories of the companies are there. So all these companies supposed to do CSR based on that. The three categories I mentioned, that either the profit what they're earning, the turnover what they have, and the net worth what they have. So if they fall in any one of these three categories, these four types of companies have to do the CSR. While doing these things, so they do differently. For example, I give the example of the PSUs, the public sector units. Mostly these PSUs do the CSR on two things. One is about the government flagship programs like Swachh Bharat program, Ganga cleaning program, or it is talking about PM cares, or it is doing the some kind of the national priority programs, which are the government department launched the programs. For those programs, They contribute a lot. Apart from that, they also do the variety of programs in and around the place where they operate. So community projects, they do that. That is how they operate. The SMEs, small and medium enterprises. So they are the people, small companies. So rather than they have their own CSR people, CSR project directly doing kind of thing, they try to work with the some bigger agencies like the CIA Foundation, or with the FICCI, or with the NASCOM, or Charities Aid Foundation. That's called CAF India, or it is these are some of the aggregators. So they contribute these resources to them, and through them they execute the program. Rather than they execute directly on their own, because of for them it is not the top priority, and they don't want to spend time on that. And when it comes to the MNCs which are foreign in nature but work in India, most of their programs decided by their headquarters, but they customize to the Indian context. They are the MNCs implement the program through the CSOs. So they don't have their own CSOs to implement the program, but they try to implement the program through the CSOs in India. And second one, promote driven Indian companies. The companies are big, they have their own foundations or trust societies. For example, Tata Steel Tata Trusts are there. Airtel has the Bharti Foundation. The Ambuja Cement has Ambuja Cement Foundation. The Reliance has the Reliance Foundation. The Wipro has Wipro Foundation. The SRF Foundation. The Dalmia Foundation. Jubilant Bharat Jubilant Foundation. Like that, they have their own foundations. So they implement the program on their own directly. So when you see these are the four different kind of companies are there, as a CSO, you have to look at it where you have to see the possibilities of building the collaborations. That is another thing you have to understand that. Next, third thing is about the core business of the company. The companies which are doing the CSR, they don't do everything like a jack of all. They try to see what is the core business of the company. They try to do the CSR also in the same area. For example, I'll give you example. The pharma companies are there. The pharma companies like Cipla, like Lupin, and Reddy's Foundation, that is Glenmark, that is Divis Labs. I know these are the companies, the pharma companies, pharmaceutical companies. When they do the CSR, they try to, not necessary, but most of the cases, they try to do the CSR in the area of health sector, which is that is their core business. They're developing the medicines and the hospital related production kind of thing. They try to do CSR in the health area. Same thing with the IT companies. So IT companies basically they are the technology driven companies, and they are giving the more focus on the technology based interventions. Maybe different themes they can work, but the technology element is the focus for them. So like the finance companies are there. The finance companies, they try to work with the self-help groups, the financial literacy. Just I'm giving the example. If you see the mining and manufacturing companies, the mostly what they do the CSR around their plant area or mining area. So whatever the community needs are there in that area, they do a variety of programs. They do health and nutrition, Anganwadi, or ITIs, or roads, or the plantation, or the waste management, or so variety of programs they do. So depending upon the core business of the company, they decide their CSR. You also to understand that what is their core business and what is their CSR theme for doing the program. The fourth one I'm talking about the local area. The CSR says that the rule says that the companies have to do the program where they are operating the local area. So here there are two kinds of companies are there. One is service companies, and also the product companies. For example, I will give you Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, it produces the Pepsi and Coca-Cola. These are the two companies. They produce the various cool drinks, and these products are sold across the country and where the people purchase those things. So they are there across the country pan-India level. For them, the local area is entire country, all 29 districts and all the union territories. They try to prefer do the CSR program in all those places. For them, this is the entire local area. For some companies like mining companies and manufacturing companies, so they are the companies, they do things in specific geographies where they have their own plants of production and they have their own place of the mining area. So they try to do their CSR in the local area, means within that location where they operate, where the district, the same state, kind of thing. That is the local area for them to do the CSR. So that is local area for that. So you have to understand that whichever company you are trying to explore the possibility of collaboration, understand that what is the local area for this company and whether I am there in that area or not. For example, if there is a company here, sorry, a CSO in Haryana, and there is a company which is again there is head office here, but they have been working in different states where they have the plants there. It tries to do the CSR in those states where it has plants are there. So either if your presence is there in those states and your reach is there, yes, you can approach. If it is not there, naturally it won't build the kind of collaboration between the CSO and the company. And next point to talk about the approved and monitored by the board and CSR committee. As I mentioned, before CSR rules and regulations, the law, it was decided by the company where the one or two people, the key people, they used to take the decisions and they used to engage the CSOs. They used to decide the projects. They used to allocate the funds. Now it has gone from the one to two people to the board. So company board. The company board decides the CSR projects for the company at the beginning of the financial year. The beginning of financial year means the financial year begins first from the 1st April and ends the 31st March of coming year. So this is the 12 months of financial year. So before starting of the financial year, the board gives approval for the CSR programs for the year. So in between the year, during the year, there is a less scope for the deciding the new projects or new allocations kind of thing, because board wants to meet frequently. It meets once in a quarter or maybe once in 2 quarters, depending upon the company direction of the CSR point of view. So if any one of you, if you want to approach any company where you want to work with them, so randomly, as when you're going approaching and asking and collaboration kind of thing, it won't work. So you have to see that before starting of the financial year, 2-3 months before, whether making the plans for the CSR plans, before getting the board's approval. So if they know about your intentions, your expertise, your presence, and what company wants to do, and they likely they can build the kind of the collaboration possibilities. So that's why. So you should be aware of these things before of approaching the companies. And the time bound. So as per the rules, so the companies have to give the explanation to the Department of Company Affairs, the Ministry of Company Affairs, so whether it has done or not done. If it has done, it is fine. If it is not done, why it is not done? It has to give the explanation for that. And also the unutilized budget, anything is there, it has to be deposited some escrow account and make use for the next subsequent 3 years. So like that, there is compulsion from the company side, it has to submit the annual reports, not only the annual reports, but also the annual plans. So before starting of the year, they have to submit annual plans and also to showcase on the website. It is no more a secret kind of thing. At the same time, at the end of the year, they have to also submit annual report to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and that also should be published on the website. So everything is time bound. So because of the time bound in nature, and you also have to, CSOs also understand that, so whatever you are going to do, how you are going to be capable of following those timelines and delivering things on the ground. What my personal experience shows that money is not the issue. The issue is the execution on the ground. The time won't wait for anybody. So keeping that in mind, as an organization of CSO, we are capable of executing the program within the time periods or not. If it is not there, and the companies won't prefer you to have you as a partner, because they also have to give the explanation why they have not done. So that is the other thing one has to understand that. And a branding and employee volunteerism. This is the other thing one has to understand that while doing the CSR program execution, how to take care of the branding of the company, what you are doing there on the ground, and also how to engage the employees when they come for the community service. So these are some of the things you also understand that how it works, and how to ensure those things, how to facilitate those things. And the last one is about the impact study. So it is not just doing the program, but the companies has to carry out impact assessment by a third party, not the company by itself, to engage a third party after completion of the project after 1 year. For example, now if somebody has done the project in 2021 financial year, in 22-23 financial year, they have to do the impact assessment. So there's within a 1 year gap is there. So this is another thing is there. So keeping those things in mind. So when you want to leverage the CSR funding, wants to build the collaboration with the various companies, if you can understand these the pointers and are fully aware of it, and where instead of randomly you are approaching the corporates, you can approach them with the informed way, and instead of approaching 100 different companies, you can approach 10 companies only by zeroing down, by doing your own homework, and then your success will be more, 80% success will be there. So this is something the CSOs have to understand if you want to leverage the CSR. At the same time, what companies look in CSOs? So the company's point of view, the CSR heads, whereas companies are there. So those CSR heads or CSR departments, what they look when they're looking for the partners. The companies have three choices. If they want to do the CSR program, they can implement the program directly on their own without engaging any CSO. That is the choice one given. And the choice two is that they can set up their own society or trust or Section 8 company, and through that they can implement their own CSR programs. This is the choice two. And the choice three is that they can go to the third party CSO, which is set up by somebody else, and engage that CSO and implement their own program. So these are the three choices. Out of these three choices, if the company going for the third choice, that is going to work with an NGO or CSO set up by somebody else, and they look at, these are the following things they look at it. So what they look at it, one is that nature of the CSO. Whether the CSO is the implementing agency, or it is an advocacy agency, or it is a research agency, or it is a combination of the both, or it is a rights-based agency, like that. There's different things. They look at it. What they need is that they prefer to work with the implementing agency, because they are looking for agency which can execute their program. That is the intention. That agency can able to do the program on the ground. They may not be interested working on the advocacy agencies, research agencies, rights-based agencies, because there is a some, they, as a part of the CSR, they have to have some limitations from their end, and they can't do each and everything that even they wish to do. They can't do everything. So keeping those in mind, they give preference to the implementing organizations. So when you are communicating to them, and how do you demonstrate that you are an implementing organization, a CSO? The credibility of the CSO is your governance practices, the governance practices, and also the credibility means the name of the organization, how people talk about your organization, and how it is familiar with the people, and how it is having the good name in society, kind of thing. They see that these are the things as a due diligence process, before they enter the expert any collaboration with the CSO. They do the due diligence and a set of parameters about your last 3 years of financial reports, and your governing body functioning style, and also your name, and all those things. You will see that the credibility of the organization. Then third one, they look at it, the domain experience, expertise. So if the company wants to work in the field of education, they try to build the collaboration with the NGO which has the experience in the field of education, not some other field. Some company wants to work in the area of women empowerment. Again, they look at the CSO, which is whether that CSO is having the experience of women empowerment or not, and the programs it did or not, So like that, they see the domain expertise of the CSO. And the geographical presence. So where this CSO operates, whether it is operating pan-India level, or it is operating in a specific state or any specific region, that is also matters while they are building the collaboration with the CSO. And the organizational capability. When you say organizational capability, organization, the leadership, the professional team, who are the people who are working there, how long they have been there, and what are their experience, expertise, kind of thing. So the systems and the process, your accounting systems and the process, the transparency, so the documentation. So all these things, organizational capability, that is something also they look at it while looking for the collaborations point of view. And the other one is the communication technology capabilities. As I mentioned that today we are into a different world altogether. Once upon a time, we are just used to depending upon the one Doordarshan channel or the All India Radio and kind of thing. No internet was there. No multiple TV channels are not there. No social media. No newsletters. Nothing was there. Today, plenty of communication channels are there. So how this CSO is capable of what it has been doing, how it can communicate, with the stakeholders. And the stakeholders means the people with whom it has been working, with the partners with whom it has been working, with the government, where to build the collaborations, society at large. So how the CSO has the capabilities of the communication, giving the importance and communicate the things, good things it has been doing that. And technology capabilities. So technology for two purposes. One is technology for the project management or organizational purposes. Second thing is technology for the project as a delivery kind of thing on the ground. So like that, so how this CSO has the capabilities of communication technology capabilities. Again, one of the things they look at it. And the cost of delivery. To say cost of delivery, the program versus the program support cost. So mostly the program support cost is a standard kind of thing. So it ranging from the around 8 to 10%, depending upon the project size and kind of thing. That is the management support cost and the institutional support cost, whatever the name you call it as, that is there. Barring that, remaining budget is meant for the project total cost and the team which is going to be execute the program on the ground and project interventions all together. So cost of delivery, while designing the program, how you are designing it cost effectively. Per unit cost, per child cost, per teacher cost, per school cost, per woman cost, per youth cost, per Anganwadi cost, like that. So the cost of delivery, when designing the program, this also they look at it. So these are the some of the things the companies wish to see when they're approaching any the CSO. So even they also they don't go randomly go and asking anybody to come and work with us kind of thing. They also do some kind of through word of mouth, they get some names and kind of thing, some geographies and kind of thing. So, and once they come to know that, and they do their own research and kind of thing, the vetting before approaching the CSO. So that is how they identify the CSOs before they engaging them to as a partner. So from this, I mentioned to you the two things, before the slide. One is that what companies look at the CSO, and as a CSO, how you have to identify the right company to collaborate kind of thing. So based on this, this slide I'm trying to articulate here. As an organization, you are there. How CSOs prepare to build partnership with the company CSR. Understanding the self. So you have to understand yourself, the CSO. What is my domain experience? What is my geography? We are capable of doing this kind of thing. So how to present now the professional team in place or not, or capabilities, and so understanding the self much more required. Second thing is about understanding the CSR policy framework and company priorities. So instead of blindly going that, I said, so you have to understand the CSR policy framework thoroughly and company priorities. Mapping the geographies and the companies. So for example, if there is a CSO in UP, Uttar Pradesh, what you supposed to do that? So if you are present in UP, that is one thing. And second thing, you also know your domain experience. What you supposed to do, which are the companies working in the state of UP? That is the first thing we have to do some kind of homework. So the companies operating in the UP are some companies doing the CSR in UP that you have to identify. Second thing, and see that what is your domain experience and the company's program is matching. That is the second level of homework. One has to do that. Then third thing is that when it is matching, then you start communicating with those company CSR department heads and kind of thing before of the financial year. So communicating that what we have been doing, what are the possibilities by way of your social media, by way of your newsletter, by way of one-to-one meetings, by way of participating in any CSR workshop conferences that is happening there kind of thing. So you have to find by way of organizing some employee volunteerism kind of thing. Just to see that, so you can zero down that, establish the kind of relationship, those things. Then mapping geographies, I already mentioned that. Establish connections and started communication. Leveraging the advantage of social media, what I mentioned to you, that you should be very good. As an SRF foundation, we strongly believe that thinking, doing, and communicating. Giving weightage to all these three things, equal weightage. Thinking is about the planning of the programs, doing is about executing, and communicating is the you have to communicate what you have been doing or done with all of your stakeholders on a day-to-day basis, not the one-time annual report. on a daily basis or weekly basis or fortnightly basis or monthly basis. It go the info, the bits and pieces, various social media platforms or your website or your newsletter or through WhatsApp groups and kind of thing. Then people are aware of what good work you are doing. That is thing there. And build the organization with the professionals, So you build the organization with the professionals. So they are the people build the capability of the organization, and the companies they feel that yes, this organization is run professionally, professional team in place, and they can understand the things and they can deliver it as a expert level kind of thing. And building the network with the CSR leaders. And so I give example that so we regularly receive some kind of the proposals, the annual report, certifications, and all those things, which doesn't work actually when you want to really build the collaboration. So you have to do the homework or spade work and zero down the companies and geographies and start communicating with them and build the organization. And over a period of time, in 1 or 2 years or 3 years of time, you grow. So when I said the SRF Foundation we had today, this number of partners with us, they are not there. They are not there from day one itself. For a period of time, they become the partners of the foundation. Once they become the partners of the foundation, we have to give the bharosa. Bharosa means yes, this is the organization we have to work. This is the credible, capable, and cost-effective, and it is wonderful job it has been doing that. And they are the one wants to work with you, not only that one project, they got multiple projects, multiple locations. They are the one take you to the next level and kind of thing. So keep that in mind that the getting the first partnership, second partnership, and doing things with them, and going beyond the expectation, that helps you to grow, and that helps you to not only with that company, but also other. They also recommend that your organization, there is a wonderful organization to work kind of thing. So that is way it works. So then this is a few points, thought of sharing with you from my experience and knowing both the sides of the CSOs and the company sides. I stop it here. I would like to take more of any questions from your side, and I'm more than happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Suresh. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
It's a very interesting presentation you have said, actually. I will just request the participants also to reflect the way in which the so-called traditional donor selects partner. That is not much different that how CSR selects partner and how traditional donors select partners. Because anyone who is doing investment in you financially, they look forward to so many things like compliance, due diligence, capacity of working, like, as you said, thinking, doing, and communicating. So it's I would like a very comprehensive presentation. So now we can invite participants if they have any questions, comments, observation to Mr. Suresh.
So there is just an address is there. Okay. So even sometime Hindi में भी बात कर सकता है.
Yeah, Radhe Krishnan ji switched off the camera and disappeared. Please go ahead. किसी भी भाषा में पूछ लीजिए, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, तेलुगु, पंजाबी.
Telugu also.
Punjabi also.
So you can help me in translation. Okay.
Mr. Krishna, your mic is mute. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Really में CSO को और CSR के साथ में जो जुड़ाव है, उसके लिए थोड़ा सा स्पष्टीकरण ये चाहिए कि किस प्रकार से उनके साथ में टाई अप किया जा सकता है, कैसे उनको इसके कार्यक्रम में जोड़ा जा सकता है।
Harsh, can you put in your words what is asking?
Yeah, he's asking that how CSR and grassroots organizations can work together.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
I explained those things in my the presentation. So first राधे जी, कृष्णा जी, which is the location आप काम कर रहे हो, कौन सी जगह पर?
मैं यूपी में हूँ, जालौन डिस्ट्रिक्ट है।
ओके, आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, किसमें एक्सपीरियंस है आपके पास?
ये हम लोगों ने तो अभी तक जो काम किया है वो स्पेशली इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशनों के साथ में विशेषकर काम किया है।
ओके,
और लेकिन हम लोग ये चाहते हैं कि बदली परिस्थितियों में CSR का जो वो है तो उसमें थोड़ा सा और स्पष्टीकरण होना चाहिए और समझ होना चाहिए कि कैसे हम उनके साथ जुड़ करके और कार्यक्रम को हम कर सकते हैं।
ठीक है, आपका कौन से मुद्दा पर क्षमता है?
हम लोग एजुकेशन में काम कर रहे हैं और कम्युनिटी में डिजास्टर रिस्क रिडक्शन में कर रहे हैं, नेचुरल रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट में कर रहे हैं, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट में कर रहे हैं।
ओके, तो वो तो ठीक है, आप उसको एक्सपीरियंस होगा, सभी में जाक ऑफ ऑल नहीं हो सकता है। आपको जो भी 1, 2, 3 मुद्दा, जो भी मुद्दा है, आपका एक्सपीरियंस है, आपका टीम है, आपका संस्था में वो लोग उसमें काफी अनुभवशाली है। सो ऐसे मुद्दाओं को पता आपको फाइनलाइज करना है आपकी तरफ से, मतलब मैं इस मुद्दों पर एक्सपर्टाइज हूँ, मेरा टीम इस पर काम कर सकता है, वो एक चीज है।
हम लोग पिछले 35 वर्षों से लगातार काम कर रहे हैं।
ठीक है,
और जो बुंदेलखंड क्षेत्र है वो डिजास्टर रिस्क रिडक्शन के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
अच्छा,
और जो
ओके,
और स्पेशली हम लोग चाहते हैं कि महिलाओं को लीडरशिप मिले और उनके उसमें उनकी
ओके,
सेल्फ आइडेंटिटी, सेल्फ उनका एम्पावरमेंट उनका हो
ओके,
और लाइवलीहुड सुनिश्चित हो। जी,
ओके, ओके। सो समझने आपको बात सुनने के बाद में पता लगता है आपको, मतलब वुमन के साथ काम करने में आपको अच्छा चीज है। दूसरा चीज आपका उसका लाइवलीहुड्स के बारे में, वुमन एम्पावरमेंट के बारे में काम करने में आपको ये देखना है उत्तर प्रदेश में कौन से कंपनी है उसी मुद्दों पर काम कर रहा है। और एक चीज है, दूसरा चीज है, आप बताया था जो वो एक बुंदेलखंड बताया था, एक जोलान जगह ने बताया था आपने, उसी इलाके में कोई कंपनी काम कर रहा है, वो भी आपको पता होना चाहिए। अगर ये 2 जानकारी आपको पता होता तो फिर उसके साथ आप संपर्क शुरू कर सकता है। संपर्क शुरू करके जब आप लोग क्या काम कर रहे हो, कैसे काम कर रहे हो, वो उनके साथ शेयर करके तभी उनके साथ उनके पास विजिट कर सकता है। और तीसरा चीज भी है, आप एक संस्था है एनजीओ बॉक्स, और एनजीओ बॉक्स और CSR बॉक्स एक संस्था है, वो उनका वेबसाइट में जाइए। वो वेबसाइट में वो लोग क्या करता है, हर साल में कुछ रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स रिसर्च पब्लिश करता है। उसमें वो लोग कौन सी संस्था है वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के साथ काम कर रहा है, कौन सी संस्था है लाइवलीहुड्स के ऊपर काम कर रहा है, कौन से वाला एजुकेशन के ऊपर काम कर रहा है, ऐसे ना अलग अलग मुद्दों पर एक रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स है ना, ये लोग रिसर्च करके वो वेबसाइट में डालता है। वो इजी ओपन टू एक्सेस दिस रिपोर्ट्स है, उसको मिनिमम पैसा होता है 500 रुपया, 400 रुपया, ऐसे कुछ होता है। सो उसको भी आप लोग ऑनलाइन में ऑर्डर करके ले सकता है। लेने के बाद आपको समझ सकता है मतलब कौन से संस्था इसी मुद्दों पर काम कर रहा है। सो फिर उसी संस्थाओं में कौन से वाला आपके इलाका में काम कर रहा है, सो वो भी आप समझ सकता है। फिर उनको आप उनके साथ में रिश्ता बनाने के लिए आप कोशिश कर सकता है। कृष्णन जी,
थैंक यू।
पार्थ जी, मैं पूछूं?
प्लीज।
अच्छा, मैं 2 चीज पूछना चाहूंगा। एक तो कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव के नाम पर जो ग्रासरूट लेवल के जो स्टाफ होते हैं उनकी सैलरी बहुत कम होती है, और प्रोजेक्ट का एम्बिशन होता है कि बहुत ज्यादा रिजल्ट निकल आए। दूसरा जो है कि टाइम का जो प्रेशर रहता है, ये बहुत कम टाइम में 9 मंथ में, 6 मंथ में, 1 ईयर में बहुत बिगड़ रिजल्ट दिख जाए। तो इस प्रॉब्लम को कैसे सॉल्व करेगा जो ग्रासरूट लेवल पर काम कर रहा है?
ओके, इसको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है एक्चुअली। प्रोजेक्ट का सैलरी कम होता है, मतलब जो कंपनी सबके साथ जो काम करेंगे, काम करने के सोचेगा, वो सैलरीज का कम के बारे में कंपनी कभी भी बात नहीं करता है, ठीक है ना। वो देखता है सो जो टीम आपके साथ है वो टीम वो कैपेबल है ना, है ना, वो देखता है। और तो दूसरा चीज, आपके पास टीम अच्छा है, जो भी इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड्स है, वो स्टैंडर्ड्स का रूप से वो पे करने के लिए कोई उसमें कमी नहीं होता है। मैं हमें अभी 10-12 कंपनी के साथ हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, अपना से भी काम कर रहा है। सो इसमें सैलरी की बात नहीं आता है, इस बात आता है अच्छा प्रोफेशनल्स मिलने में दिक्कत आता है। सो वो दिक्कत को आप देखना चाहिए। वो द प्रॉब्लम इज गेटिंग द राइट पीपल, नॉट द गेटिंग द सैलरी। सैलरी कंपनी के द्वारा मिलने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आता है प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट के अंदर। दूसरा चीज आपने पूछा था, प्रोजेक्ट को 9 महीने होता है, 3 महीने 6 महीने ऐसे होता है, बता रहा था आपने। ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स को अगर जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग लोकेशन में जो ऑनगोइंग जो भी आपको प्रोग्राम ऑलरेडी चल रहा है उसी इलाके में अगर 6 महीने के 3 महीने कुछ प्रोजेक्ट आएगा, करने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आता है। अगर नया जगह जाएंगे उधर काम शुरू करना है, वो शॉर्ट टर्म वाला काम नहीं चल पाएगा, क्योंकि ये नया जगह पर आपको जाकर काम करने के लिए उधर लोगों के साथ तो रिश्ता बनाना, गवर्नमेंट से परमिशन वगैरह लेना है, कंपनी के साथ एमओयू वगैरह साइन करना है, अब टीम वगैरह का रिक्रूट करना, उस एरिया का रिक्रूट करना है, ये सब कुछ को टाइम लगता है, 3-4-5 महीने लगता है। और अगले 6-7 महीने में वो बहुत कम टाइम होता है इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए। अगर जो भी काम करोगे मिनिमम 2 साल का कार्यक्रम होना चाहिए, देन नया जगह पर आप शुरू कर सकता है। सो वही मेरा सलाह है।
सर आपने इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं किया आपने आपको, क्वेश्चन पूछने से पहले थोड़ा इंट्रोड्यूस कर ले।
जी सॉरी, मेरा नाम संजय राय है। मैं
जी।
एम ट्रस्ट करके एक संस्था है जो लखीमपुर खीरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में काम करता है।
जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
प्लीज।
और किसी को, यू कैन रेज योर हैंड्स।
इसमें मैं थोड़ा संजय जी के प्रश्न पे उत्तर देना चाहूंगा, शबीन जी।
जी जी सर प्लीज।
मैं कुछ जोड़ना चाहूंगा उसमें, जैसे सुरेश जी ने बताया। देखिए क्या होता है कि हमने वानी की मेंबरशिप में ही देखा है, जैसे राधे कृष्ण जी कह रहे थे, हर रेंज की संस्था होती है, छोटी बड़ी, हर साइज, हर लोकेशन। तो वानी के जो मेंबर्स हैं इनके साथ हम लोगों ने एक प्रक्रिया शुरू की थी काफी दिन पहले, कोविड से पहले, जिसमें संस्थाओं को ये जानकारी दी गई थी कि किस तरीके से सीएसआर के साथ काम करना है। जैसा कि सुरेश जी बोल रहे थे कि कम्युनिकेशन एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा होता है, क्योंकि जो भाषा का प्रयोग हम लोग करते हैं डे टू डे अपनी कागजों में, वो भाषा कई बार सीएसआर की भाषा नहीं होती है। उनको आम भाषा में बताना होता है, कम शब्दों में बताना होता है। दूसरा, सीएसआर कानून में ही कुछ ऐसे पेच हैं जिसको, क्योंकि वानी जुड़ी रही है सीएसआर कानूनों को भी लेके, हमने देखा है जो रिपोर्टिंग का फॉर्मेट है सरकार का, वो कई बार क्वांटिफाइबल डेटा ज्यादा मांगता है। तो क्वांटिफाइबल डेटा मांगने की वजह से प्रोजेक्ट को डिजाइन क्वांटिफाइबल फ्रेम में ही किया जाता है। तीसरी बात है ड्यूरेशन। ड्यूरेशन में जो अभी कोविड से पहले 5 साल हुए थे सीएसआर के, तो एक रिव्यू हुआ था, उस कमेटी में हम लोग वानी की तरफ से थे। तो एक प्रश्न आया था कि क्या ये सीएसआर के प्रोजेक्ट्स 1 साल के होने चाहिए। तो सरकार ने कहा था कि कहीं ये नहीं लिखा हुआ कि प्रोजेक्ट 1 साल का होगा या 5 साल का होगा, प्रोजेक्ट 10 साल का भी हो सकता है। लेकिन जो उसका फंड एलोकेशन है वो कंपनी ईयरली बेसिस पे करती है, क्योंकि उस पैसे की उसको जवाबदारी देनी होती है। वही तरीका अगर आप देखते हैं तो जो डोनर है वो भी आजकल 1-1 साल के ही प्रोजेक्ट, भले 5 साल का पूरा फ्रेमवर्क एग्रीमेंट हो, लेकिन एलोकेशन साल के बेसिस पे होती है। तो इसको थोड़ा समझना होगा। और अगर आगे चल के भविष्य में हम लोग देखेंगे, अगर हम लोग वानी की तरफ से फिर से ये प्रक्रिया शुरू कर सकें, जहाँ पे वानी मेंबर्स या जो संस्थाएं हैं उनको डिटेल में बताया जा सके कि कैसे प्रपोजल, क्योंकि जो कन्वेंशनल डोनर और इसमें अप्रोच में काफी डिफरेंस आ जाता है काम करने में। और कोई साथी किसी ने 2 चैट्स में डाले हैं। अच्छा, शालिनी जी ने लिखा। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन प्लीज, एनी ऑब्जर्वेशन?
या हर्ष जी, मैं AK सिंह रांची से।
हाँ
Please.
सर, नमस्कार।
बोलिए।
हाँ, अभी नेतरहाट में है, इसीलिए मेरा जो नेटवर्क है अप डाउन होता है, हो रहा
हाँ
है,
जी।
तो कभी भी कट सकता है। तो मुझे जो बोलना था कि अभी जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, जो प्रोफेशनल लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट्स है CSR का, उसमें हम देखते हैं कि बहुत सारी जो ग्रासरूट और इफेक्टिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनका वो नहीं सक पाती हैं। इतने ये कभी-कभी आता है कि आप आज सुबह में फ़ोन आएगा कि कल शाम तक में आप प्रपोज़ल दे दीजिए 1 करोड़ रुपए का। अब उसमें ये थीम है। अब उसमें बनाने में, उस प्रोजेक्ट को बनाने में और उसको देने में छोटी संस्थाओं की बूते की बात नहीं है। इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि कुछ वाणी को एडवोकेसी करनी चाहिए कि जो छोटी संस्थाएँ हैं उनके लिए CSR कैसे ज़्यादा उपयोगी हो, क्योंकि आज के डेट में जितने देख रहे हैं हम लोग के पास भी जो प्रोजेक्ट है, वो 3 करोड़ 4 करोड़ के ग्रुप में आता है। और इतना प्रोजेक्ट को हैंडल करना या इतने बड़े प्रोजेक्ट को के लिए अपने आप को तैयार करना, और फिर अभी लीगल कंप्लायंसेस जितने हैं हर महीने और क्वार्टरली और हाफ ईयरली और ईयरली, कि बहुत सारी संस्थाएं ऐसे ही उनका बहुत ही मतलब तबीयत खराब है। तो इस परिस्थिति में
सही
इस
बात।
परिस्थिति में एक एडवोकेसी की भूमिका होनी चाहिए हम लोगों की, कि इसमें बहुत सारा रिक्वायरमेंट है। हम लोग कर रहे हैं 4 बड़े डोनर के साथ में प्रोजेक्ट, तो काफी कंप्लायंसेस है और काफी अभी पहले वाले संजीव जी ने बताया कि बहुत कम समय में इतने एक्सपेक्टेशन है जिसको पूरा करना कभी-कभी बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। पैसे का दिक्कत नहीं है, सैलरी का दिक्कत नहीं है, यदि आप सब कुछ आप प्रोफेशनल हैं तो CSR में फंड का आज के डेट में मुझे नहीं लगता कहीं अभाव है। लेकिन उसकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स है वो उसमें बहुत सभी संस्थाएं कंप्लाई नहीं कर पा रही हैं, ऐसा मेरा फीलिंग है, ऐसा हम महसूस करते हैं।
आप अच्छा बताया था सिंह साहब। एक्चुअली हम लोग भी 10 पार्टनर से काम करता है। सो ये 10 कंपनी के साथ जब काम करता है, सारे एक ही जैसे नहीं होता है। सो ऑल 10 कंपनीज अलग अलग से सोचता है, अलग अलग से पार्टनर से काम करवाता है, अलग अलग से रिपोर्ट मांगता है, अलग अलग से फंडिंग देता है। इसके सॉल्यूशन क्या है? एज ए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एज एन इम्प्लीमेंटिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, हम कैसे कैपेबल है उसी कंपनी के साथ संपर्क करने में, डीलिंग करने में, रेस्पॉन्ड करने में। सो सारे के साथ एक जैसे नहीं होता है। सो वी शुड हैव द कैपेबिलिटी, आवर टीम, द टीम which is working with those companies, so that team should be more empowered or more capable of addressing the meeting the expectations of the partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nivedita.
Yeah.
Next, Nivedita would like to ask. She is our colleague. Nivedita ji. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Nivedita.
Thank you so much, Abhin ji. Dr. Reddy, a wonderful presentation there. And मेरा जो सवाल है या कहें कि कमेंट है, वो एक्चुअली मिस्टर AK सिंह के सब्सिक्वेंट पार्ट को ही डील करता है, जहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे हैं ग्रास रूट लेवल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की कैपेसिटी बिल्ड करने के लिए, और जहाँ पे उन्होंने वानी को ये कार्यभार सौंपा है। तो उसी को थोड़ा आगे ले जाते हुए, आई वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड द इंटेंट ऑफ द कॉर्पोरेट। व्हाइल आई ऑलवेज काइंड ऑफ हियर अबाउट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस वांटिंग टू कोलैबोरेट विद क्रेडिबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, बट कहीं ना कहीं वो एक इंस्टीट्यूशनल कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग की जब अगर बात आए या ट्रेनिंग्स की बात आए, तो कॉर्पोरेट्स का क्या रुझान रहता है इंस्टीट्यूशनल कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग ऑफ पार्टनर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के तहत?
So, इसमें मैम जस्ट टू थिंग्स आर हियर। इंस्टीट्यूशनल कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग के लिए जो भी पार्टनर के साथ काम करता है, उसमें 10% तक इंस्टीट्यूशनल सपोर्ट कॉस्ट देता है। That is, you can use the way you want to use that amount for the improving your system and process, or improving the common resources kind of thing. But as a part of the project, if you have the project team, The project team, for example, I don't know which location, the example I'm giving that, Bihar or maybe it's Madhya Pradesh or Tamil Nadu, which are the state I'm talking about. You are doing a program in a couple of districts and you have a team of 30 or 40 people are doing the program. They are the project team. So if you are building their capacities for doing the program, it is very much is a part of the project cost. It is available when you are designing the program and planning the program. It is done. Other than those project team members, if anybody who are sitting in the head office, which are the NGO office, then the common people are there. Either it may be your admin or finance or communication, partnership people or M&D people kind of thing. They are the common resources point of view. So whatever the institutional support you get, that money you can use for the capacity building and including the system process also. So there won't be any issue on that.
My question to you, Dr. Reddy,
So
is
I have.
Please.
Yeah, let Nivedita complete. Yeah, Nivedita.
Thank you. The question that I have is, for example, the role that VANI plays, that of capacity building, or not just VANI, but then any other organization which is capable of kind of enhancing the capabilities of the small and the grassroots level organizations. Is there any specific provision outside of the project or outside of the CSR funding project that you're giving to an implementing agency? Is some kind of support provided or factored in by the corporates at the juncture, or something can be done about it?
No, it is outside the project. There is no provision they can give by the company or institutions unless it is beyond the CSR. Beyond CSR, if any contributions company wants to make it, that is different story. Or if any other donor or individual donor or philanthropist, trust foundation giving beyond the project cost, that is okay. But within the CSR, whatever the project cost is coming up, so that is as a part of the project team capacity building, and also the institutional support cost, that is for the common resource capacity building, we can make use of it. I understood your question, ma'am. If any other agency is doing the training program for the, not for the project point of view, in general point of view, it's the responsibility of the organization to build its. So there are two things. One is the building the portfolio of the programs. Other one is the building the institution. When you say institution as an organization, there are two things: systems and the process, and the people's capabilities. These two things, the portfolio building and institutional building, should go hand in hand if you have to grow as an organization. So whoever is the people set up these CSO institutions are chairing the CSO institutions, they always keep this in mind that how I can do the projects, at the same time, how can I build the organization system process and the people capabilities. It has to, it's the responsibility of the institution, and they have to find the ways and means.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. We hope we find a solution to this on a different platform, I think, maybe in future.
No, just I'm giving the example, I'm giving the example of SRF Foundation 2009 I joined. I was just only 2 people, that just only one program, that one place. And today, 2022, in 13 years of time, it has gone from one place to 24 locations, from 2 people to 170 people, from one organization to 13 organizations as partners. So as a CEO of my own foundation, it is my responsibility how I can build SRF Foundation as an institution with 16% people. At the same time, how I enhance my program portfolio going beyond to one location to the 24 locations. So this is the head of the institution organization. From the beginning itself, there should be a clear-cut vision and the strategy. So they can do that.
Right, sir. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Yeah, now the next question, please. Hello? Somebody wanted to ask a question? Okay, sir.
हेलो हरजी,
Thank you so much. I think.
हाँ सर,
हेलो, हाँ जी,
हाँ,
मैं ये बहुत
बोलिए।
अच्छा, हाँ जी, मैं बोल रहा हूँ जी। तो एक तो मेरा ये रिक्वेस्ट था कि क्या जैसे अधिकतर जो अनुभव है सीएसआर के साथ उसमें वो अपना फिजिकल प्रोजेक्ट हो तो वो जल्दी अप्रूव करते हैं, या उनके इलाके में है या टेरिटोरी में है तो वो ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड रहते हैं। तो ऐसी संस्थाएं जो आदिवासी इलाके में काम कर रही हैं, जहाँ वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट के काम में लगी हुई हैं, और खास तौर से उनका जो एम्पावरमेंट के इश्यूज हैं तो उसमें कम सीएसआर इंटरेस्टेड होती हैं, तो क्या ऐसी एक लिस्ट बन सकती है वानी, और जो रेड्डी जी ने भी बताया था कि कुछ संस्थाएं हैं जो अच्छी संस्थाएं हैं जो सीएसआर मतलब खास तौर से जो रियली जो ग्रास रूट के वर्क को सपोर्ट करना चाहती हैं, तो उसको लेकर फिर वो अलग अलग इलाके से लोग अपने प्रपोजल भी सबमिट कर सकते हैं। तो क्या ये पॉसिबल है? क्या मेरा ये प्रश्न था। बाकी तो खैर ये सब चल रहा है जिसमें उनके लाइक डिसलाइक वाले इश्यू हो जाते हैं कि नहीं वो पसंद करते हैं वहीं पर करते हैं काम, बाकी इलाके में नहीं जाते हैं। तो यही मेरा क्वेश्चन था, क्या पॉसिबल है क्या ऐसी एक लिस्ट कि जो इससे अप्रोच कर सकते हैं ऐसी संस्थाएं जो
ये पॉसिबल हो सकता है एज ए बॉडी, एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन।
या
सो जो भी जो इनपुट्स है सीएसआर के बारे में, अभी पूरा देश में वेस्ट इंडिया में, उत्तर भारत देश में और साउथ ज्यादा सीएसआर काम चल रहा है। और सेंट्रल इंडिया और ईस्ट और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एक्सट्रीम नॉर्थ ये जगहों पर कम हो रहा है, क्योंकि उधर कंपनी का प्रेजेंस नहीं है। एक चीज, एक बात है। और दूसरा बात है, सारे के सारे कंपनीज ये बड़ा बड़ा शहरों में शामिल है। और सो वो लोग उस लोकल एरिया का रूप से सो उसका नजदीक एरिया में कभी काम करता है। जो ये भी एवॉल्व होगा अगले 2-3 साल में भी, ये भी एवॉल्व होगा कैसे आगे जाना है। और दूसरा एक अच्छा मुद्दा है गवर्नमेंट के इंडिया की तरफ से, एक एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है। तो एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में काम करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया भी कंपनीज को भी एनकरेज कर रहा है। तो एस्पिरेशनल पिछड़ा का मतलब पूरा देश में कोने कोने पर ये है। सो उसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में जब काम करेगा, आप जो भी वाणी का संस्थाएं हैं वो एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट काम कर रहा है, उसको भी अच्छा मौका है जो कंपनीज उसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में काम करने वाले भी है।
ओके, या
If I may just add one more point to this.
Please, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, please correct me if I'm wrong. आप जो लिस्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स है, उनका एक वेबसाइट है CSR पे, जिसमें पूरे के पूरे डिटेल्स दिए रहते हैं। इनफैक्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज डिटेल्स दिए रहते हैं CSR स्पेंड के बारे में। अगर आप उसमें डायरेक्टली जाएंगे तो आपको बहुत सारी संस्थाओं के नाम मिल जाएंगे जो डोनर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो CSR प्रोजेक्ट्स को फंड करती है। So that is an immediate step for you to kind of possibly go to your particular district जहाँ जहाँ आप लोग का काम करते हैं, वहाँ पे जाके जो संस्थाएं पॉसिबली आप लोग को उस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सपोर्ट कर सकती हैं उनके नाम जान। This is there on MCA's website.
Yes.
सर क्लोज करें?
हाँ,
एक बज
मैं
गया।
कुछ मैं
हाँ।
1 बज गया। मैं कुछ कहना चाह रहा था कि
जी
देखिए
सर।
जो ये चर्चा हमने की है, द डिस्कशन विच वी हैड टुडे, there are 2 things which are very important here. One is the thing which is coming out is the investment on the strengthening the sector itself. क्योंकि क्या होता है कि ये प्रॉब्लम CSR की भी नहीं है, ये प्रॉब्लम पूरे देश की है कि हम लोग उस पेड़ से फल मांग रहे हैं जिस पेड़ को कभी सींचने की ख्वाहिश ही नहीं रही है किसी को। There has been no investment in the capacity building or strengthening the sector for last almost 20 years, and then we are expecting that the sector will play a very constructive role and very high tech role. इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी पड़ेगी, पहला पॉइंट। तो कौन करेगा ये अभी क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन आएगा। दूसरी बात ये है, मेरे को लगता है कि जो छोटी संस्थाएं हैं जो हम लोगों ने शुरू किया था पहले, वो कंपोनेंट वानी की तरफ से, कि जो संस्थाओं में जाके मतलब नॉट ओनली मेट्रोपॉलिटन बट स्मॉलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, ईस्टर्न रीजन में सुरेश जी बता रहे हैं, लेकिन इन द ईस्टर्न रीजन इटसेल्फ, जैसे AK सिंह वहां से हैं, there are very good organizations and there are also CSR initiative, and we can also, once you give confidence to the companies that they can operate in the eastern region, they will definitely start investing. अभी क्या होता है, सब लोग सेफ्टी की ओर जाते हैं कि जहां हम सेफ एरिया वहीं रहे. हम मतलब नोन डेविल इज बेटर देन अननोन डेविल, और जिसको कहते हैं कि फियर ऑफ अननोन, उस चक्कर में काफी रिलेशनशिप बनते नहीं है. मेरे को ये लगता है कि जो एक एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स का जो बात चर्चा में आ रही है, I think VANI should come out with the member organization at least who are operating in aspirational districts, और उनके साथ थोड़ा बात किया जाए. तीसरी पॉइंट ये है कि गवर्नमेंट के साथ एडवोकेसी बहुत हो चुकी. अब मेरे को लगता है कि सुरेश जी जैसे जो साथी हैं, जो CSR को भी समझते हैं और सेक्टर को भी समझते हैं, हम लोग सब मिलके कम से कम वी शुड डेवलप अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर वी कैन हैव कन्वर्सेशन बिटवीन CSOs एंड CSR. बातचीत जैसे आज की चर्चा में लोग नीचे लिख रहे हैं कि बहुत बढ़िया चर्चा रही है. आई थिंक वी शुड हैव दिस सच प्लेटफॉर्म टू हैव कन्वर्सेशन, राउंड टेबल करने चाहिए. और आई होप सुरेश जी विल लीड द CSR gang and we will try to lead the CSO gang and have that conversation on regular basis. So one is aspirational districts ka, second is conversation between CSR and CSOs so that we understand each other, and third is definitely find a way how we can invest on the strengthening the sector. ये 3 पॉइंट मेरे को लगता है आज की चर्चा में निकल के आए हैं. शबीन जी धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Harish ji. Is there any
Thank you so much, Dr.
support from my side?
Yeah,
that
please.
I'll extend that. Yeah.
That's very nice of you, sir. And thank you very much. It was a wonderful lecture. Clarity, इतना simple और clarity दी है कि otherwise we used to think CSR is some glamorous चीज जो attempt करते हुए भी डर लगता था. There was lots of confusion. It was सच में आज very clearly आपने बताया क्या चाहिए companies को CSR to get CSR funds, what type of funds are required, timing होनी चाहिए, expertise होनी चाहिए. That is very important. Timing is very important. As you said, we cannot go anytime. Project बन गया, चलो लेके निकल जाओ. There has to be a proper timing, proper planning, proper expertise. तो ये सब चीजें बहुत मानी रखती हैं सबके लिए. तो थैंक यू सो मच सर, आपने इतना अपना टाइम दिया, बट इट इज फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द सेक्टर. Thank you very much. We will be in touch with you. And all the participants, thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabin.
Thank you.
Yeah, we shall close.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you.
We'll see you shortly. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Viraj.